Hello, beautiful souls. It is Solita again, and I'm here with a video. I um I was thinking about some things, and I had something else I wanted to share. So I made some notes, and I wanted to talk about the time when I think I was about 17, 18 when I stopped watching TV like that, and I'm gonna talk about when I started watching TV again, and I'm gonna tell you why. Now, the title of this video, I'm gonna put it up there, but it's Turn Off the TV. And the reason why I say turn off the TV is because I realized when I had the TV on, I wanted to always be like what I saw. And I was running around doing all types of stuff. And I wanted to be like what I saw, and I was mostly watching videos. And what do you see a lot of black women, and it don't matter what your race is as a woman, you see a lot of women on these videos, and they half naked, shaking their ass, and almost every female rapper, singer, whatever, everybody's getting naked instead of being able to show just their talent. Let your talent speak for yourself. It's like this world likes everybody getting naked in order to prove their value, and that is not godly at all. If you sit and think about it, it's really not godly at all. Why should you have to expose yourself in a way like that in order for people to see your worth? It's crazy. But and this is no disrespect for people who do, really just perform and is okay with it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that to the people that's out there, they're all little girls. And at one point in time, you were a little girl, little boy, whatever. And you got to think about it. Like, what type of image are we really putting out there for the world? Like, for the generations after us? That's where I'm going with this. Because I remember growing up, everybody wasn't butt ass naked. Everybody wasn't butt ass naked. And I mean, this is how I speak. I'm not going to cover it up and act like I don't cuss. I'm trying to stop cussing, but I'm not going to hide how I really speak. So let me not, hey, take it how you want, call me what you want. I'm not religious. I'm just spiritual. That's it. All right. So anyway, back to when I was, watching it, I really wanted to be that type of chick. I could be or look like whatever I wanted, because I settled and started to think that I had to be like everybody else when I'm nothing like everybody else. You know, I had, back then I stopped watching and I would sit in silence all the time. And I always used to write everything, my feelings, my thoughts. I always had like a little journal, a little book where I could write what I'm feeling, whether I'm mad, sad, anything. I've always been able to tap into my inner self and do some type of inner work, because for me, I never used to like to get like negative feedback about myself, especially when I know it didn't even match who I am. And, people sometimes will misread your energy or misunderstand you and give you labels that are not yours. And I used to buy into the labels all the time. But anyway, sitting in silence and writing and stuff, I wrote my first book that young, and it took me a whole year from 17 to age 18 to finish writing my first book, but I just never put it out there. It's not something that I'm proud of. I'm proud that I wrote a book that young, but I'm not proud of what I was talking about, so that's why it will not ever be out there. um but anyway, I sat in silence as much as possible, because when I did that, I was able to listen to myself. I knew what it felt like when, I ended up, by the time I was 21, experiencing a time where I'm being made to sit down. by God. That's why it wasn't scary to do that. I'm not ever scared to be alone because I came in this world alone, you know, and my name does mean soul leader, you know. It's so much significance to the names that we do carry too. I do want to put that out there. Like, that's why you should be careful what you name your kids, because they gotta live up to that, you know. But anyway, I'm not gonna do that because some people out here with names that if they knew what their names really meant, they want to change it. But anyway, back on topic. I'm reading on my paper, so forgive me when I do look away, and I'm just trying to get, a better understanding of what my point was. Um, and also, if you not gonna sit in complete silence, if you are going to listen to some music, say like you cleaning, you cooking, you doing something that's like therapeutic to you, because I know cooking is very therapeutic for me. Listen to music that's instrumental, and music that's uplifting. I know some people out here, hip hop fans, or like what is that type of music out in hip hop that I want to say, like not dirty south, but like the dance music and stuff. Just try to listen to it without the words, because this is the thing. You'll hear the words, and then the next thing you know, if you playing it over and over, you'll start repeating those words. And when you repeat those words, you start saying those words, and you start creating your reality. That's why when listening to music, depending on the type, it can become dangerous. Music like when somebody's talking about killing and sex and whole this stuff like that. You might not like the song, but if you keep hearing it, eventually, even if you is the person that like the song, you start singing it, you start speaking it, you start putting it out there to the universe. You casting a spell with your mouth. You wonder why you angry, why you listening to that type of music then. Music that got you in angry, or the type of music that will have you in an uproar ready to kill. Like, people don't really y'all better wake up. People really don't even see what's really happening. Like, and that's why I started to get more mindful about stuff. And I mean, I thought I was super, super, super woke, but some things I went through had taught me that I really needed to sharpen my skills a lot better. But let's get back on topic. First thing I said, turn off the TV. And I gave you an example of in the time frame of how old I was when I started turning off the TV, when I realized something wasn't right. I realized that I was creating thoughts in myself that weren't my own. Why would I wanted to be a video girl at 17? At 17, I should have been thinking about college or something, not being a video girl. But they're all due to believing the lies. You can be born into any circumstance, and your circumstances can change. Everybody, when you born into a circumstance that may not be your most favorable, you better be blessed that you did have a crackhead as a mother. You better be blessed that you didn't have this and that. Because when you are a person that was not given to much, wasn't given, you are the person who actually learns how to be humble when you do have things. So be grateful for that. We got to stop looking at every bad thing in our life as the bad thing. When something bad happens in your life, stay prayed up. And then you give God the glory. Because how can we know God's love if we don't know pain? It doesn't matter how the pain shows up in your life. What matters is what you do with the pain. And I'm saying that from experience, because whenever something was bothering me, if I reacted in a way like, of course you're going to go, woe is me. Nobody's saying you're not allowed to weep a little bit sometimes, but it comes morning when you're going to have to stop the weeping. The sun is up. There's no more weeping. You need to get up. And it's easier said than done. But I have my own struggles. Days when I might be in my down. I allow myself to be down, but not for too long. I allow myself to feel it in that moment because I know it's other things and more to life. Real things that is really more important than this one thing I may be weeping about. Because I may be weeping about, but I wept about many other things. And those things didn't always stay and keep me weeping. You see what I'm saying? All right. So the next point I wanted to talk about was that the reason why I'm telling you turn the TV off, because it's like all of a battle about the mind. And the battle with the mind is like saying, for instance, like when we on social media and we flicking up and down Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And you're transferring energy when you replying to people comments, or when you reading titles and watching videos of things that are traumatic to you. You know, you invoking and you feeding yourself a whole bunch of fear, and you wondering why your day is, all messed up, why your day isn't going right, why you having certain thoughts, because we feeding ourselves fear. And what is fear? False evidence appearing real, right? So keep that in mind, because that's going to come up when I get towards the end of the points that I wrote down. If you believe it, then it is so. And the reason why I'm saying that is because even if something wasn't true, but you can make it become true by believing it. Once that belief is there, and it's wholehearted belief, and you start to speak it, it can become your reality. Let me see. Another example of what I mean, like saying believe it is so, is like, if you believe in God, right, and you believe that he gave his only begotten son, Jesus Christ, who died for your sins, right? If you believe in that, if you're a person like me that believes in God, the creator, right, and you believe that when it is your time to leave the body that you are in, that you'll be back with God, right? And I'm not trying to say that in a way. I'm only thinking a better way to try to give this analogy, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and then somebody mistake it as me saying something else. So I'm trying to think of a better way, something else that people believe in. Like, for instance, like when you pregnant, and that belief, you are from the moment that you find out you're pregnant, you believe you're going to have a baby, right? So with that faith and believing that you're going to have a baby, and you make it through the whole 9 months, because during that whole 9 months, so that baby being cooked inside, that is a very crucial time, right? And some people don't make it all the way through that, right? And I'm not saying that if you're faithless, or if you have faith, that, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just using the 9-month period of pregnancy as an example. Because when you get pregnant, you don't know if you're going to carry that child. You don't know if that child is going to come here on earth and have a human experience. We don't know that, right? So by having faith, how are you having faith? You going to your doctor appointments. You going to have your sonograms done. You have your baby shower. You have your gender reveals. That new thing that people do. You have things like that in hopes to the baby being born all the way up until delivery day, right? That's what I mean about when you believe in something. That's like when you believe in something, you're having faith. You're having faith in it. And what is faith? Faith is having hope in things that you can't see, right? And that brings me back to how further we're about to get into some things I was thinking about. Without faith, nothing is possible. Nothing is possible without faith. If you know you want to do something, if you believe it isn't so, then it isn't so. If you believe that it's going to happen, then it's going to happen. But not only can you just believe that it's going to happen, you have to make it happen. Why? Because you're the creator of your own reality, right? Yeah. That's why you're told the mind is a terrible thing to waste and the mind is a powerful tool, right? It really is. It really is. It's more than um I forgot what they call the brain. Is it a muscle? I don't know. Don't get me started. Don't laugh. I don't know. But it was something that I was getting at with that. But don't worry about it. But back to my points. All right. I see a better analogy. I think I wrote it down. Okay. A example of believing it is so. It's like, all right. In 2008, I had wrote some things down that I wanted to do, right? And I believed that it was going to happen. And how about those things started within a year and a half after that? No, not even a year and a half. It was within a year. No, within a few weeks. I see, and these things are coming to me. All right, and within a few weeks of me writing that, everything I wanted to do came into fruition. I think I still have the book. I have it put up somewhere, in a box. And I think I'm going to pull it out. I wish I had it out right now to show you what I wrote in 2008. And I would pull out my credentials to show you that it actually happened. So I'm going to tell you what I wrote, though. In there, I wrote that I wanted to go back to school and get my GED. I wrote that I wanted to enter hair school. I wrote about I wanted a relationship. I wrote about working in the salon and all of that. I talked about my children, the two before the other two that came years later. And I always said that 4 was my max, and I had 4 children. I also dreamed of 2 of my children around those years in between 2008 and 2010. But I never seen the other 2 coming. I'm no lie. But anyway, 2008, I entered GED school. I took a pause and I did it in 2009. I took a pause in 2010, and in 2011, I was serious. I was serious about those things I wrote in 2008. So already in 2010, and I wrote down I wanted a job, and I had got a job within a few weeks of writing that down too. I had got the job. Then my life was turned upside down, with that propelled me all the way up until this moment. So I've been on my spiritual journey. It's just some things had happened that kind of tripped me up. But now I'm in a place where, as though I understand why those things had to happen to me in order for me to be in where I am now, which is this place, this beautiful, joyous, precious place that the Lord brought me to, right? So anyway, I also finished GED school. I also passed my GED test. And then Maryland doesn't say GED test, it say Maryland State High School Diploma. So big ups to that. I did enroll in hair school in 2012. I did get a relationship in 2011. I did, it was like basically everything that I wrote, I was blessed with. Unfortunately, some things didn't get to happen in my favor because of choices. We all get free will, right? But I followed through with what I said I wanted and what I would do, and I stayed true to myself. So in spite of the things I had to endure, it was so painful. Like, I'll always talk about how painful it was, because like I wouldn't wish it on my enemy, but the Lord will not give you more than you cannot bear. And I made it out. And I made it out still being myself, but my elevated self. And no more watered down videos, because I wasn't really getting to the nitty gritty of what I really wanted to talk about either. I was just really more so talking about what I went through instead of telling you how I got out of it. I'd rather tell you that while speaking on what I went through. So anyway, so what I'm trying to tell you is to get a pen and a piece of paper, get you a nice big book. And regardless, even if you ain't feeling anything, write. I used to scribble all the time, you know, but I'm more of a person now that I only write when those thoughts are there. I'm not the writer that, I mean, I could just write anything if I wanted to, but that's not my character. Everything I do have intention and meaning behind it. I am a person who always find meaning and purpose behind everything. But it's good to write out whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, whether it's good or bad. God is not looking for you to be like, excuse me, if you a cusser, cuss. God loves honesty. He can always change that tongue for you if you allow him to, and if you're willing to change it. It's more like this. And the reason why I'm telling you this, because a lot of things, I wrote things in anger. I wrote mean and nasty things. But even when I wrote them, it's not like I said things like, oh, I want this and that to happen. Oh, no, I don't write those type of things. I only speak on how I feel while I'm angry. I never would write on a paper at any given time have I ever wrote, oh, I want this to happen to somebody. I don't wish ill on nobody. I don't care what you done to me. That's just a no-no. I never ever done it, and I don't plan on doing it. If anything, I will only speak on how they made me feel or something. All right. So anyway, when you write stuff down, make sure you put a date on it. I like to put the time sometimes and sign my signature too, because those are like confirmations to back up, kind of help you remember a little more that specific day and that specific moment. And the only reason why I say that is because you won't always remember what something when somebody say something or specifically what they did, but you'll always remember how they feel, how you felt about something, right? So putting a date on it or something specific on that paper will kind of help you tap back into that memory. And I'm meaning you don't have to always tap into memories because they are bad. Tap into the memories that you need to tap into to help you get through whatever situation that is recurrently showing up in your life. This is why it's important to heal your inner child. You know, a lot of people, you wondering why your man ain't acting right or your girl ain't acting right, because sometimes you in a relationship that does not have God in it, and you're also in a relationship that two broken people it ain't gonna work. I'm a living example of that. Now, my situation would have worked if that person did their inner work, but they didn't, and I did. I had no choice. It's me. I make connections with everything. It's like everything to me is a big ass puzzle. And it don't matter if something was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and now it's showing up 1 year ago. I always pay attention. I don't see with just my eyes, you know. So you got to do more than observing with your eyes. You can't always listen to what somebody's saying. To listen to what somebody is really saying to you is to listen to what they do. To see what somebody is really doing is to pay attention to what they do. Is one and the same. You don't see with these. You see with this. You see with this. Okay. Back on topic. So, it's a quote that I came up with. I get a lot of quotes. I should write a book of quotes. I will write a book of quotes one day, because I have some kick-ass quotes that'll motivate a lot of people. Hell, I re-motivating myself. The things that come to my mind, and I just laugh about it, and I say it sometimes in the right time. You know, somebody go, I'm gonna use that. But it's not just for that. I really like come up with some really like good quotes that I think that everyone can use. That's what we're here for. I'm no expert, but we're all here to help. And when you experience something, always reach back and help. So, let me get back to the quote. To believe is to know. And when you know, you just do. And when you do, you just go and you move. And that quote came to me that made me think about when I was in high school and how I believed what was going to happen for me because the Lord had told me so. And it wasn't just because he told me so. He told me so after I had already believed. I already believed because I already knew what I was destined to do. All the while on this journey, it has been very lonely because people who have no idea of where I'm going and what it takes to do what I'm trying to do, they cannot give me info. They cannot tell me how to go about it. So I have to follow my own path. I have learned listening to other people always steered me off my path. So whenever I listen to myself, things always go in my favor. Things always go the right way because it is in my best interest to always choose the right thing first. Always seek to choose the right thing, because even in times if I am choosing the wrong thing and don't know it, it's because I don't know. But I always be knowing now. You just can't unsee some things once you see things. Also, if it is food for your thoughts, then when you feel, all right, if it is food for your thoughts, then it is safe to watch what is on TV. If it is not food for your thoughts, do not watch it. And what I mean food for your thoughts is something you can learn from, something that is useful, something that is tangible, not something that for the moment feels good. Like, for instance, the reason why I don't watch reality shows no more is because I notice when I'm watching it, all they doing is arguing and fighting. So I was creating a lot of arguments and fights in my real life from watching that stuff. I was up here yelling at the TV, fussing at them. And the only time when I was doing that was when I was depressed and when I was in my box and I had nothing else to do but be miserable. And the only reason why I was miserable and in my box and feeling like that, because you cannot be a person of light and hang around darkness. I did not want to believe what I was around was darkness. I felt it. I knew it. But I just didn't understand how to get away from it. And I'm going to share this with you. This one time when I wanted to change jobs because I knew that another job was a better for me. When I did that, I took it to God. I came up with like a A, B, C, and D plan. I thought it through. I took it, to somebody who I shouldn't have, because I didn't need them to make the decision anyway. I had already made it before I took it to them anyway. But when I made that decision, stepping out on faith, I actually increased some things in my life that I was trying to work hard to get. And it panned out in my favor, right? So, dang, I almost forgot. I should never look down at this paper at another thing that I wanted to say. I hope that y'all got where I was going with that, but I really did lose my train of thought. I didn't mean to. It might come back to me specifically if it's important. When you feed yourself negativity and be around it, what I put? Oh, after a while you become it, and that is true. When I first began my spiritual journey back in 2012, like to take it serious, there was some things going on around me that was getting in the way of me and my faith, and I didn't take it serious. I thought it was nothing, but when I look back and I look at how many years in a specific book that was specifically given to me as my spiritual journal, when I looked at how many years and how many gaps, when I look at the things that I did right in there and what I said and the things that I had used to help me heal within, because I'm still healing never stops. I'm still in the process of healing, but I've healed in a way that my mind and my heart is guarded, and not in a bad way. I can think for myself. I'm free. I can breathe. I have my own mind. No one controls me. No one. So, with that being said, when I say that, like, you can become the negativity you're around, that's kind of like situations with narcs and empaths, or situations like when you got the good with the bad. You know, you can't be the good girl and want a bad guy, because you're going to become a bad girl. Why? Because that bad guy is going to corrupt your goodness. He's going to do something to you that's going to make you go bad. Okay? That's why it does not mix. Also, if you were a bad girl, bad girls don't even be wanting the good guys. The bad girls want to use the good guys, and that's all one and the same. It's the same thing, just vice versa. You know, and it's not good to take people power. You don't do that. You should never use a person, because we all are God's children. And there are some people that are not, but God still created you, so you are. You know, it's not good. You don't become that kind of thief. Don't become a thief at all. You know, taking away from somebody so selfishly because you're so self-centered. Don't take away from the selfless. Don't take advantage of the selfless. If you have somebody around you that's selfless, you should cherish them. You should cherish them. See, the world got it twisted. The world is upside down. The world out here got people thinking the bad is good and the good is bad. And I'm only saying that because I've experienced stuff that helped me see these things. I'm sorry, I'm just looking around because I'm thinking about stuff. I'm always doing that. I can't help it. I'll try to, so I can get better with my videos. But I'm really just only here to share messages. You know, the Lord told me you have a big story to tell, so share it. Share your knowledge. Share what you know. I feel like I have to do this service to share what I know, because there's many people who are just like me, who go through stuff and think and don't have nobody to turn to. So I'm here to be your internet friend. I don't care if I'm not the prettiest, if I'm not this or that, whatever anybody expect me to be. I'm only here just to give you messages. I'm only here to teach because I'm still learning myself. I did turn the page because more has came out this mine. Writing helps you to revisit thoughts. Writing helps you to remember things that you may have forgotten. It helps you connect the dots because you know it came from you. That's why you should write. You should trust yourself, because to trust other people is like not trusting God, and God is within you. So when you want the answer to things, you have to go within, and to go within is to sit in silence. To go within means no music, no TV, no friends, no mama, no daddy. It's them perfect moments that you get to yourself. Spend it in silence, because that's when you can hear your voice and you can hear God's voice. And you'll be able to separate other people's voices from your own. Because you notice people who take on other people's voices, what they do, they start sounding like them. They start looking like them. They start being like them. They start moving like them. You know, people down here moving like robots. And you're not a robot. You're a spirit inside of a body. Okay? Having a human experience. Okay. So, looking outside with your eyes and hearing outside with your eyes is different than what you see and hear in your heart. Your eyes see things that aren't there, and your ears hear what was never said. Your heart remembers how it felt, and your mind remembers it. Now, when I say your ears see things that your eyes see things that aren't there, meaning, you ever been in a situation where something looked like something it wasn't, and instead of you staying and getting clarification by being mature and having a conversation, you fly off. That is your ego. Your ego telling you to fly off. And you fly off without getting any understanding. So now there is some tension between you and somebody, creating all this weird negative energy, right? Come to find out, once you have cooled off, and you probably do talk to that person, right? And you come to find out the truth, and the truth was something so simple. And so now you feel either regret or shameful. Now, I'm not going to say regret. It could be if it's that bad, but shameful because of you reacting. When you're angry, you're a fool in a moment. Meaning, when you do things out of anger, you're not acting godly. Because even when you're angry, it's the way that you move when you're angry. When you're angry, that does not mean to get violent. And I'm not saying you may not be met with situations where you may have to physically defend yourself. I'm not saying that, because I am one person who is, I'm not innocent from stuff like that. I was raised in a violent environment, but even though I was raised in it, I didn't be it on purpose. I only did what I had to do to defend myself. I was never the type to just go up and want to just fight somebody. I only fought if I had to defend myself. But I also stood my ground to let you know that I'm not going to let you do whatever you want to me. That's the only, I'm a warrior. That's what I am. I don't condone it, but I do believe in this world, somebody put your hands on you, I'm not going to be the person to tell you to walk away. I feel like somebody hits you, you have every right to hit them back, only for the simple fact because how people in this world think, if you don't do nothing, that you're weak. And there are situations where you do have to show people that you're not. But that's still not saying you have to fight. Because sometimes you're in situations that you got to fight the person. Because if you turn your back, they'll harm you. You know. So that's what I mean about the times when you met with opposition, you got to fight. Anyway, back to the point. That is a version, an example of when your eyes may see something. That's why I said you can't always believe what you see. Because usually if you're a person and you use your wisdom and your intuition, and when you met with situations like that, if you learn to become calm and see things through, then you can pick your battles more wisely. Okay? When you hear things that is not really being said, meaning somebody is telling you something, they're blatantly telling you what it is. But because you too egotistical, or because you too self-centered, you don't hear what they're really saying. You hear what you want to hear. And so when you hear what you want to hear, say like, you might not like what the person had said, but it was the truth. And they didn't say it in any type of way. They didn't say it with anger. They were calm. And they told you a truth in a respectful manner. But a person that's egotistical is not going to hear the respect. That they're not going to hear the calm manner. What they're going to do is twist and turn everything that you said to fit what they believe you had said. And they might go tell somebody, or either choose to react on what you said and the opposite of how you presenting yourself to them. And when a person does that, that is a prime example of hearing what was never said. Okay. Now, and when I say that, your heart remembers how it felt, meaning you're not going to always remember what somebody said or what somebody did completely detail for detail. It really depends on how your brain operates. Because I know me, I can remember a lot of stuff from detail. But when I began my spiritual awakening, like when everything just hit me and I made a decision to give it all to God, it was more like, things that I didn't know was there and they came up. And then I already knew something was up because I was all at once being met with things that I seen happen in my life before since a kid. That's when I knew that it was time. I was waking up. But anyway, what did I put? Your eyes and ears on or on the outside, but your heart and your mind is on the inside. Go within if you want to see. Now, when we think about our eyes and our ears is on the outside of us. And what do we tend to always do when we want answers to things like the simplest thing like a job change, or the simplest thing is validation. The simplest thing is like even love. We go outside of ourselves, right? And what is outside of ourselves? Our eyes, our nose, our ears, you know. But inside, what is inside? Our brain, our heart, our spirit, right? And those are the things that lead you. You notice, like when you go to sleep and when you have your dreams, or when your subconscious mind, your mind remembers a lot of things that this will not remember. Your eyes will play tricks on you. You'll see things that are not there. So that's why I always say, go within if you want to see the truth. I had to go within to see the truth about what was happening to me. I had to go within in order to let go. I remember just a little while ago when I made that statement, I knew why I brought up that job. Was the thing, see, devil don't play with me. Oh my goodness, about the job. Okay, I'm trying to remember my point about the job. Going within. Yeah, it was about going within. I really wanted to leave the job, and I stepped out on faith and left the job. And I did go, what, almost a month with really no money, until after a month it paid off. It paid within 30 days, me leaving that job, working all them hours on all that. Had, man, the blessings, because my issue was I needed more money, right? So back, let me take you into another story. Oh, this can keep going. Listen for days, please, because I have a lot of knowledge to give. The like I had this stuff is amazing. I'm sorry, my mind is drifting off. I'm looking around my surroundings, just listening out for my kids. And when I look away, it changes my thought. I'm sorry, I need to keep focusing on you guys. Um, all the way down to that job. And the way that things went and the blessing behind it. You know, it's like the same way that's the message the Lord was telling me when I went to him about having a plan to leave another job to move into the next. He said the same way I got myself in, it was the same way I could get out. That was the point I was trying to make. I told you I was going to remember it if it was important. Okay, the same way I had got myself into a bad relationship was the same way I got myself out of it, and I didn't do it alone. I went to God about it. You gotta go to God whether you facing something big, or little, cause to you it can be really big, but it's small to God. All He's doing, and let me not even say He. I don't even want to keep giving God a gender. I'm sorry if this disrespects anybody, but I'ma just prefer to God as God, because no one really knows what God really looked like. And to be honest, given that what I see going on in this world and what I see really going on with real people, I'm going to just say God, because it is not fair to say God is a man and then we have people out here who in the LGBTQ community, is people afraid to be themselves and stuff. And it's people who do love God, but who they are, people are shunning them and basically putting labels on who God is, and it's just too much of the chaos, and I don't want to be a part of that. So to make it fair, I'm not taking away who God is, because I still know who God is, just as well as someone who may be different, who what they may do, you may consider a sin, but you got to think that you eat pork, you cheat on your wife, you lie, you kill, you steal. Sin is sin. So I feel it's fair to, from now on, I'll do my best when I refer to God. It's just God, and I say he, she, or her. None of that. That's the only reason why I'm a say it. Because I don't, I'm not going to lie. I'm not really comfortable with just putting labels. If God is God, then God should not have a label other than God. If I say he, I'm really referring to mankind, stuff like that. So if I am, just be mindful that that's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything. Like I said, this page, anything I say that's all about light and love and positivity. Negativity is not allowed. Negativity will be blocked. Only positive energy is allowed. I only welcome that. But I am welcome to having conversations about things that we all either agree or disagree about. I can have a conversation, but I'm not going to do anything like that, like disrespect anybody. So let me get back to the point, because I've been on here for a while and I really have been enjoying this conversation. Even though it's really like I'm talking to myself. Your eyes and your ears are on the outside of your body, which is the vessel. Your heart and your mind is in the inside of the body, which is the spirit, which is inside of your body, right? Outside, your eyes and ears easily get deceived. It's an illusion, aka fear, aka false evidence appearing real. I gave an example earlier. I'm not going to give another one. God is not in no sky. God is with you. God is in you. God is within. The answers are two, not from your mama, your father, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your friend, your co-worker. You need answers to the issues that are going on with you. You need answers to things that aren't issues. Go within. If you want to know if this shoe look cute, ask you, don't ask her. You asking her what she think is giving her power. You don't give nobody no power over you. If you think it's cute, then it's cute. If she think it's ugly, then it's ugly to her, not to you. Whole point of me even making this whole video is because I was sitting and thinking about things, thinking about stuff I've been through, thinking about the attack I've been over, for a week. I'm not saying I don't know anything else, but I know at first I wasn't able to go within. I wasn't able to make a video at first. I wasn't getting the knowledge, the downloads I needed to speak to y'all, because I don't just come up with this stuff. I don't. I'm sorry, I heard the TV playing something. I don't just come up with this. I go to God first and ask him what to speak of. That's why I'm not up here like, oh, read Matthew this, read off that. I felt myself kind of doing that, and like I said, I'm not religious and I'm not here to force people to do anything they don't want to do. I'm here to just share some helpful knowledge with everyday life, whether it's about relationships or whether it's with self. I have some to share, and I feel like because I have overcame a crucial part of myself that a lot of adults that's walking around older than what I am have not even overcame yet. There are people that's walking into it. There's people that's going through it with me, and there's people who already surpassed me. So at the same time, I think it is godly and that it is fair to do so. And I pray that you all do the same to others. So I'm going to close out this video. I'm going to say good night. It is late. I was about to film another video, and no, you will not see any of these be edited, because I really don't want to do that. I want you to see me and my raw self and how things really are when I do this. I'm not on that perfection type of thing right now. I'm not focused on that. I'm really just focused on getting these messages out there. So, again, my name is Solita. Welcome again to my channel, The Soul Leader. Um, Peace and blessings. See you next time.